Hey guys, Rob Tyler, third by Poncho Outdoors. Today we're looking at my top 5 fall jerkbaits. We're going to begin with a $8 entry. This is the new Berkeley Cutter. This is pretty new this year. I've been pretty impressed with it. Probably the only thing that I have to say that's kind of weird about it is the bill. If you look at that bill, it actually is a spade bill. So it kind of comes through a little bit weird. So when you jerk it, it tends to dart side to side instead of kind of doing a walk almost. So it seems to kind of just trying to throw itself side to side instead of, like shadow wrap or anything else will kind of walk or almost thud itself side to side. But for $8, this thing is nice to have because it is a different entry in the market. Something that Berkeley wasn't afraid to do with the help of their pros. Next up is another $9 entry. This $9 entry is a shadow wrap shad. This is one of my main go-tos. Any of the like black shad or the golden shiner entries are my favorite baits in this because they're just universal. You can throw them anywhere you need to and they're going to do what you need them to do. The nice thing with the shadow wrap shad is that you can get the deep series. The deep series will usually have a longer bill, and this longer bill still kind of has that spade kind of cut, but it's not as sharp of a spade. So if you look at how this has got a flat nose and this has a really sharp nose, the flat nose on this helps it to kind of force itself around. So if you give light twitches on a rod, you'll have a nice walk. But if you twitch it hard, that flat nose and the little bit of cup on the bill will grab and spin the bait all the way around, giving that fish, kind of a, hey, what's up look. And the fish do not like that at all, or they do. Either way, they bite it. Next up, we have probably my number one go-to. The problem I have with this bait already, though, is it's almost 25 bucks. If you can find it on sale, you can find it for about 15, but you're looking at most stores $20 to $25 for the Jackal Squad Minnow. I've caught probably 1,000 fish on this bait, and it still holds up extremely well. And I throw this bait on braid just because of the price point and my love of this bait. Now, I'm down to just a couple of these. That's why I am how I am with it now, with not really throwing it. But when I'm throwing this thing on 8-pound fluorocarbon, I can usually get it down to about 8 feet just by giving a nice slow retrieve down and twitching it nice and slow. The thing with the Squad Minnow is it has a really deep cup in the bill. That deep cup will allow the bait to grab more water. By grabbing more water, what it's going to do is force that bait to take the rear up and walk a little bit shallower almost. So what it's doing is usually it'll step up and throw the tail more than the nose. It's a little different action than most jerkbaits in the market, so it's something that a lot of guys don't have. But I said at $20 to $25, usually it makes it hard to pick up until you buy one, and then you're going to have a few $100s worth in your tackle box at all times. Next up is a entry in the deep water market that I have caught a ton of rock bass, a ton of perch, a ton of smallmouth on. This is the Live Target yellow perch. The yellow perch comes in a few different sizes. This one is, I believe it's the half-ounce model. It's a little bit larger than most. It's got a really wide profile. But come in the fall months, the fish are looking for big meals. And this is a big meal, at least in jerkbait terms. Now, the nice thing with this too is you can cover a lot of water, chuck it out on a bait caster. I use 7-foot medium heavy moderate from Denali. I like that rod because it's got the backbone to set the hook at a distance, but it's soft enough to let me have good control over the bait. What I'll do though is I'll throw it way out there over a point, reel it down to depth, and twitch it, just burning it with really fast twitches. And that has caught me a lot of fish on that. Like I said, largemouth, I don't know why they don't seem to care for it as much, at least in my area, but smallmouth absolutely tear that thing apart. Finally, we have the KVD this is the J200 KVD jerkbait. The cool thing with this jerkbait is it's a pretty generic jerkbait. I mean, it's the same one that Cotton Cordell's had. It's almost a Rattling Rogue. It's a pretty standard jerkbait, so it's hard to go wrong. But at about $8, and I found it on sale for about $5 if you look around. it's a nice one to have in the box, just to have it. The cool thing though is it's got a bunch of small BBs in the nose, 2 BBs behind those small BBs, 1 large BB, a hollow cavern, and one small one in the back. The nice thing is all that weight will transfer to the back of the jerkbait when you go to throw. It'll spin that jerkbait around and let you get a good distance on it. The really cool thing with this though is it tends to really nose down because of all the weight in the nose. The one small BB in the back really helps that weight to transfer to jerk the back around. So for the price point, I'm really impressed with this jerkbait. The hooks are a little heavy wire for my taste, but that can be remedied by picking up some VMC trebles or Gamakatsu trebles, whatever you so desire. That's for $8 though. Hard to go wrong with this. Finally, we have the Hedden Zaragoza. So I know I said 5, but I couldn't help myself. I had to include this bonus bait. This bonus bait has been around in tackle boxes in my family for the last, 20 years. And these things have caught a ton of fish. If I absolutely cannot catch fish, this is what I'll throw. I don't know if it's a confidence bait for me or what, but I'll throw this 3/8 ounce bad boy out there and I will catch a ton of fish on this thing. You can see there's almost no paint left on the nose from the hook scraping it, the fish biting. But the cool thing with this though is you get a jointed jerkbait, no lip, throw it out there, let it sink in 40 feet of water, twitching it down as it goes down. It'll actually do the death roll, death spiral all the way down like a Sluggo, Senko, Fluke would. But it's a lot heavier. It's going to maintain that action all the way down. So we've caught a ton of fish on these. I love these baits. If you can find them, pick them up, give them a try. They're kind of an eBay bait at this point. I've bought a few at about $30, $35, but I found them as low as $3 if guys don't know what they have. But that's really it, guys. Those are my top picks for fall jerk baits. If you have any questions on these baits, give me a shout. If you have any jerk baits that you prefer that I didn't mention, let me know down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck on the water. See you around.